radio show with Theresa Ervin, head of Three Divas Designs and Studio. How are you, Theresa?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What is your first big break in the entertainment industry?
Um, that's a hard question to start off with.
Yes, yes, I'm sure the listeners would like to know though, like how did you get started in fashion or design? Or how did you
It
get started with your
uh,
modeling career?
well, it started in college. Um, I was a grew up a church girl, so I long dresses and all of that, and went away to college and had a full makeover done by someone who needed their cosmetology license. Virgin hair and never worn makeup, and went out to a party and basically kind of got discovered by the guy who managed me for about 5 years. Being a church girl, all I ever had was, with the long dresses, all I ever had was just my shoes. So I had to walk. I loved high heels even as a church girl. So doing that whole makeover thing just kind of put me out there. And I was away in college, and the guy gives me his card, and he says, "Have you ever modeled?" And I was like, "No." And it's scams. There's a lot of scams out there. So it took me about a week and a half, and then my best friend took me to meet the guy, and he trained me for free for 3 months. And then I end up doing things like J.C. Penney catalogs. I was the more cigarette girl on billboards in Florida for about 2 years. I did Ebony Fashion Fair for about 4 years. So I made some money. I did some traveling. I learned some things. And then I retired after about 7 years of modeling, in between getting my degree and being a mom and all of that stuff. And then when my daughter got to the age where she was interested in print, because she's not as tall as I am, she was interested in print, I got into managing models because of my daughter. And Three Divas actually stands for something. So the Divas in Three Divas stands for dedication, integrity, virtue, attitude, and sincerity. So to me, making a model is more than just someone who can, and I'm using my air quote fingers, slay the runway, or take a beautiful picture. It's the whole person, because there are a lot of people who can kill the runway and knock them dead in front of the camera, but they never go anywhere because they don't have the right attitude to be successful. And it really is not only about beauty, but the outer beauty, but also the inner beauty as well. So that's my story in a nutshell. And I've been managing models for about 5 years, professionally and as a real thing other than just my daughter. And I have several spokesmodels who are being asked to be in, Atlantic City Fashion Weeks and uh, New York Fashion Weeks and events up in New York, and getting paid for photography, because they actually walk the walk. And the Three Divas signed models have to be role models. They have to be that face that young girls see and people remember. And that's that's my business all in a nutshell. And in Road to Fashion
Okay.
is kind of like an offshoot.
Well, we on the phone with Theresa Ervin, head of Three Divas Designs and Studios. I guess that would be a modeling agency and several other things as well, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So tell us, what is Three Divas Designs and Studio?
3D Designs and Studios is an actual physical venue, that's available for rent in the Maryland, in the DMV, which is the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. We're in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. We have a small venue, and we have a double-sided cyclorama wall for photography. We have meeting areas. We have radio shows that are broadcast out of there. We have walls of mirrors and a practice runway. We have an audio recording studio with an engineering room, and the whole space can be rented. We do our castings there. We've had everything from baby showers to dirty 30 parties to church vendors in our facility. So that's what Three Divas Designs and Studios is about. That's the main I think revenue stream is the venue.
Right, right. So you're on the phone with Myron Grace on the Midnight Hour radio show with Theresa Ervin, head of Divas Designs and Studios. So tell us, Theresa, what is your current involvement with the fashion industry, or what part of fashion does Three Divas and Designs or Theresa Ervin focus on?
Well, we focus on the whole person. I mean, you know, we have some models who are good at print, and we're about Three Divas is about model development, and then those are for girls who want to be signed and trained and want to develop their career. But then we have Road to Fashion, which is a part of Three Divas, and that's really focused on designers and small boutiques and small businesses and makeup artists who want to get their name out there and want to, you know, have a set bunch of people that they can practice on and get professional photos from. We like to network with small businesses is our main focus when it comes to Road to Fashion and Three Divas in general.
Okay, again, we're on the phone with Myron Grace in the Midnight Hour radio show and Theresa Ervin of Three Divas Designs and Studio. So since you mentioned Road to Fashion, let's talk about Road to Fashion Atlanta on May 20th, 2017. Tell us about that event.
Well, this will be our third year in Atlanta, and we are going to have our show at Gia Studios. We have some traveling models from DC. We're actually going to be, by the time this is aired, we'll be leaving Maryland, heading to Atlanta. So we have some traveling boutiques who also have online presence coming with us, photographers, models, a designer who's local here is looking to spread her wings to other places. And then we have models that we've done castings for in Atlanta, as well as boutiques and designers there as well. So we're looking hopefully to have a sellout crowd. We got some great hosts who are going to, you know, host the show, and then we have a runway host who's with Combined Magazine, and Portia Fierce is going to be hosting our red carpet interviews, and then we have Hollywood Tuck. Brian Tucker, who's going to be actually hosting our event, and he's a comedian. So we like to not only integrate fashion, but also local and emerging artists to be able to perform in front of a venue of, you know, a captive audience.
Okay, we're on the phone with Myron Grace in the Midnight Hour radio show. Theresa Ervin of Three Divas Designs and Studios. She's talking about Road to Fashion Atlanta, which is May 20th, 2017 in Atlanta, Georgia. Can you tell us once again what location that's at?
We're at Gia Studios at 3924 Shirley Drive in Atlanta.
Okay, okay. Well, tell us, how does Road to Fashion benefit models or even the Atlanta community?
Well, it benefits the Atlanta community because we donate a portion of our ticket sales to a local nonprofit in Atlanta. And it benefits the models because it gives them that exposure. You know, it's about being exposed to different designers and boutiques. We've had several, you know, like I said, this is our third year there, and we've had several models who have become brand ambassadors for local boutiques down there, just in the networking and collaboration with Road to Fashion.
Okay, Theresa, can you tell us, we're on the phone with Theresa Ervin, and she's talking about Road to Fashion Atlanta, May 20th, 2017 at GS Studios. We're on the phone on the Midnight Hour radio show with Myron Grace. Can you tell us, in a nutshell, what type of sacrifices does it take to become a successful model or even to be a part of Road to Fashion Atlanta?
Well, Road to Fashion Atlanta and this industry in general, to be successful, you have to be dedicated. You know, a lot of these girls call themselves models, and they don't practice outside of being in somebody's show. But it's about dedication. And to be successful in here, you got to really stick to it. It's not going to be easy because anything worth it really isn't. But when it comes to Road to Fashion, it's about wanting to have fun. Come out and do your thing and wear these clothes and make somebody want to buy it off your back. It's about the fashion, not really about the model at all.
Okay, that's interesting. So you saying Road to Fashion is more about the fashion than the model. And we're talking
Yes,
about Theresa Ervin on the Midnight Hour radio show with Myron Grace and Road to Fashion Atlanta, which is May 20th, 2017 at GS Studios, Atlanta, Georgia. So what audience is Road to Fashion trying to reach?
any and all. Because fashion is not a age, not a gender, it's not a color. It's fashion. Rather we have, designers that do everything from vintage wear to the stuff that the young girls are wearing now. So all audience, all ages. Even for our models, we have both male, female, and children models.
Okay. Do you with Road to Fashion, which is May 20th, Road to Fashion Atlanta is at GS Studios, May 20th, 2017, and we're talking to Theresa Ervin of Three Divas Designs and Studios on the Midnight Hour radio show with Myron Grace. Can you tell us, do you have plus size models? Do you have children's models? What should the audience expect to see when they attend Road to Fashion Atlanta?
They'll see plus size models because beauty's not a size. They'll see some children's models. They'll see some male models. They'll see just see fashion in general.
Right. So at Road to Fashion Atlanta, May 20th at GS Studios in Atlanta, Georgia, sponsored by Three Divas Designs and Studios and Theresa Ervin. Can you buy the clothes there when you're there? Will you be able to order clothes? Will you be able to buy the clothes from the models? Tell us about that aspect of Road to Fashion Atlanta.
Well, our vendors are provided a vendor table. That's part of our package of being, part of Road to Fashion. Um, and they're able to sell their items there if they want to. Most of our vendors and designers have web presence, so you can order what you want online, and that information will be available. Our designers will have their cards in the gift bags and available for our audience to pick them up and be able to reach out to them.
Right. So what type of main focus? And again, we're talking to Theresa Ervin of Three Divas Designs and Studios, and we're talking about Road to Fashion Atlanta, May 20th, Atlanta, Georgia, at GS Studios. What type of event or what should the audience? How should they be dressed? I mean, since it's a fashion event, what would you suggest? Is there any particular type of dress code?
Well, I wouldn't say there's a dress code. I would say that the theme this year is classic Hollywood, so they take that how they want to. I can say that I'm going to be overdressed as usual. So how everybody else comes, that's on them.
Right. And so tell us more about what's your long term goals with Road to Fashion Atlanta. And again, we're on the phone with Theresa Ervin of Three Divas Designs and Studios and Myron Grace of the Midnight Hour Radio Show. We're talking about Road to Fashion Atlanta, May 20th at Atlanta, Georgia, May 20th, 2017 at GS Studios. Tell us more about what the goals of the long-term goals of Road to Fashion Atlanta project, since this is your third year.
My long-term goal is really to find an Atlanta home. This is our third year. This is probably our third venue. I want it to be something that every year that the models and designers in Atlanta know that Road to Fashion is coming the second or third year of May, and this is where we're going to have it. I want it to be a household name in Atlanta. Because Road to Fashion is not just Atlanta. We have one here in the DMV as well in August, and then we're going to San Francisco in November.
Right. So you saying basically that Road to Fashion is a traveling thing. It's not You're not just gonna say stay necessarily in Atlanta. You want to find the Atlanta home, but you may go to other cities as well.
Oh, we do go to other cities. We do 3 cities a year for Road to Fashion. Atlanta is just one of the cities that we go to.
Okay, so Road to Fashion, which is Road to Fashion Atlanta, is May 20th, 2017, Atlanta, Georgia, at GS Studios. And it's being sponsored by Three Divas Designs and Studios and Theresa Ervin. You're on the phone with Myron Grace in the Midnight Hour Radio Show. So basically, Road to Fashion is more of a movement. And so,
Oh, yeah.
is that what you would say?
Absolutely. It is a movement. It's a movement about to enhance and improve networking. And, the bigger your network, the stronger you are. So Road to Fashion is about connecting people in D.C. with people in Atlanta and people in Atlanta with people in San Francisco. It is absolutely a movement.
Okay, that's good to know because I'm sure the audience is interested in things like that. Again, if you want to attend Road to Fashion Atlanta, it's May 20th, 2017 in Atlanta, Georgia at GS Studios. But for more information, tell us about where people can purchase tickets to Road to Fashion Atlanta, or how can they get in touch with Theresa Ervin?
Well, they can purchase tickets at Three Divas on our website at 3divasdesigns.com/tickets.html. That'll take you directly there. Or you can go to our website and contact us, and you'll see the ticket link, and you can purchase tickets there. We actually have an after party at GS Studios as well. So if you purchase VIP tickets, we have one of our cupcake designers making, custom cupcakes for our VIP guests. And you can also purchase tickets to the after party as well.
Okay. Well, so people will know how to spell out your website. It's the number 3 divasdesigns.com/tickets.html, or just go to the number 3 divasdesigns.com, and then you'll be able to reach out and find out about Road to Fashion Atlanta, which is May 20th, 2017 in Atlanta, Georgia at GS Studios, being sponsored by none other than Three Divas Designs and Studios and Theresa Ervin. So basically, what would you like to say to the audience that you can summarize and make them want to definitely show up at Road to Fashion Atlanta?
Well, you're going to see a whole bunch of stuff. Mainly, I think people think that the fashion shows are so entertainment focused, and we're mixing that. So we have the fashion show, which is about the fashion, which is the first part. They're going to see some local artists performing. They're going to see a DMV artist performing there. 2 DMV artists, as a matter of fact, and 1 local artist. And they're going to see some entertainment at the end. We have a grand finale from Revive Studios being put together to round us out and take us out of classic Hollywood. And then they'll be able to get their red carpet photos. We have a photographer that's going to make sure that everything's captured. Who knows, they might even get a cameo in the audience. But they're going to have some fun. They're going to see some entertainment. They're going to get some laughs. They're going to see some great fashion. It's a whole bunch of everything, and it's family friendly.
Right. So again, we're talking to Theresa Ervin of Three Divas Designs and Studios with Myron Grace on the Midnight Hour Radio Show. I want to ask everybody that's listening to this on HotAtlantaMix106.com to go check out Road to Fashion Atlanta. You can check it out at GS Studios on May 20th, 2017 in Atlanta, Georgia, or you can purchase tickets online at the number 3 divasdesigns.com, 3divasdesigns.com. And Theresa, do you want to say anything to the audience before we close out?
If they have any questions, they can also email us at info@3divasdesigns.com, and we'll do our best to get back with you before the show.
Well, thank you so much, Theresa, for coming on the Midnight Hour Radio Show. And again, audience, go check out Road to Fashion Atlanta, and that's at GS Studios in Atlanta, Georgia on May 20th, 2017, sponsored by Three Divas Designs and Studios and Theresa Ervin. Thank you for coming on the Midnight Hour Radio Show, Theresa.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.